Hello and welcome. My name's Chris Can with Mining Journal, and with me I have Marley Palin, Head of Portfolio with the BHP Exploration team. Marley's been part of the majors exploration accelerator, Xplor, since its launch in 2022, and today she's going to give us a feel for what that program looks like as applications start rolling in for the 2025 cohorts. Welcome, Marley.
Thanks, Chris. It's so exciting to be here. And as you said, we've just kicked off the Xplor journey for our third year. And so looking forward to giving everybody a bit of a download about what to expect from Xplor.
Terrific. And so we're in year three. A lot of people would know about Xplor, but for those who don't, can you give us a little bit of a feel for what the actual Xplor concept is?
Yeah, sure. So Xplor is a exploration accelerator program. And so I guess the early stages of Xplor, we took the Silicon Valley technology accelerator model, the Y Combinators of the world, and we sat down and we looked at how can we apply this model to the minerals exploration space. And so what that means is we run a 6-month accelerator program. We seek applications from all over the world. We run them through a pretty rigorous selection process to land on a final cohort. That cohort then spends the next 6 months with us, progressing their exploration opportunity. We give them 500K of equity-free funding, and we throw everything that we possibly can at them to help them in that journey. So they go through a curriculum across the 6 months, across technical operations, look at some above ground and some business masterclasses. They are connected with BHP experts and experts across the industry. We open our black book of vendors, and it's really about how do we work together over 6 months to properly accelerate their opportunity. And at the end of the 6 months, we sit down and we go, is there an opportunity for us to work together more long term and for them to potentially join our exploration portfolio?
Okay, a lot of the press around Xplor has focused on the fact that there is some funding up for grabs, but it sounds like it's a lot more than that. It's a lot more of a technical support program, a corporate support program as well.
Yeah, and I think if you talk to any of our previous cohort members, the hook was definitely the cash. And it's quite an unusual precedent that we've set in the equity-free nature of the 500K. And we offer a lot of flexibility. We don't script how teams use that funding. We work together with you to go, what do we think, the work set looks like for your particular exploration project over the 6 months. But at the end of the day, we give that funding and trust the teams that they're going to spend it in the right place in what makes sense to them. But yeah, the magic, I think if the funding is the hook, the magic of the program comes in what we provide. And it's very much mutual learning. It's not about taking the cohort companies and saying, you need to work like BHP, because if you put, large corporate processes on a small junior, you're going to stifle them. You're going to stifle that dynamic nature in which they can work. But it is about going, here's a couple of key things that we think if we combine the magic of a major and a junior and do some of that shared knowledge, then we can truly work faster.
You said it was innovative, and truly it's something that the minerals industry or the mining sector hadn't seen before. When you first launched it back in 2022, what did it look like at that point compared to what it looks like today? Have you learned things? Has it evolved, or is it pretty much as it was launched?
Yeah, I like to say that the first year we were building the plane while flying it. We launched sort of an open call for our applications, but at that point we hadn't really figured out what the program was. And our first cohort were very much guinea pigs for us in really spending the time to understand what they needed and building a program around that. We're pretty data obsessed. We collect a lot of sort of feedback from the participants while they're going through the program. What do they like? What do they not like? What are they finding value with? Every single month, I jump in and look at feedback surveys and see what's being rated well, what they're using, what they're not using, and we've used that every year to evolve the program. And so the bones of Xplor have stayed the same since year one, but every year I think we're getting tighter on how we really add value. And the cohort are so generous in giving us feedback in where they're finding value, what are the things that they actually feel like are unlocking them. And that's we take that and we try to make sure that there's more of that in the program.
Okay. And when you're selecting those cohorts, you're obviously getting a lot of applications. It sounds like a fantastic program to be involved in if you are an explorer. What are you looking for when people are applying? If the application window, I should say, is open at the moment, when the cohorts are, or would-be cohorts are applying, what are the things that they should be looking to present to make sure that they're giving themselves the best chance of being selected for the next program?
Yeah, awesome. I guess I'll answer that in two parts. The first thing we look at is the opportunity, and at the end of the day, to bring something into the Explore cohort, it needs to be a great technical opportunity. And so we're looking for opportunities that are pushing the boundaries, that are doing that, are positioning a new geological concept, are looking in a new jurisdictional region that we don't have a lot of activity at the moment, or just an opportunity that looks really exciting. And so for us, it's always opportunity first. And one of the big pillars of the Explore program is the mineral systems framework. It's something that we do with our cohort members from day one in the program, and it's a really strong theme throughout the technical sort of the technical corridor of the program. And so we do ask the participants, and that would be my kind of top tip for filling out the application form, is if you can start explaining and communicating your opportunity or your project in a mineral systems context, it makes it really easy for us to be able to identify what are the things that are really exciting. So yeah, very much opportunity first, but then team plays a massive role in who we bring into Explore. And I think the magic that we've been able to create in all of our cohorts is because we are bringing in phenomenal teams and phenomenal explorers. And so the last sort of round of our application process is an in-person interview. And I always say to the companies every year, as they're standing at the door nervous for that interview, I say, like, if you're here, we like your opportunity. We want to know if we think we can work together as teams. And from that perspective, we're really looking for openness to partnership. People that we think we can learn off, and people that we think are really open to learning from us, and taking some of the tools that we've got and running with it. And if you look at the teams that we've brought in previous years, like, they are very well known explorers in industry. Some of them have been doing it for a really long time. Some of them, are well-known up and comers, that they have reputations themselves within the industry. But we saw through the application process that even though they were fantastic explorers, they were still willing to the possibility of learning something different. And so that sort of that openness and willingness to come in, work with us, and partner with a major is very much what we look for in a team.
You mentioned partner there, and you said partnership before. And when you talk to other people in the Explore team and you look at the literature around the website, partnership is a massive thing. What specifically do you mean when you say partnership, or when the Explore team talks about partnership? Because it can look a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we love about Explore is that we get to spend 6 months with the companies before we start having a conversation on, what a deal or a long-term partnership looks like. And we say that it's dating before the marriage. And over those 6 months, we become friends. It's a lot of nights having a glass of wine at the library bar at the Fairmont in Toronto. It's going out into the fields with them. It's getting to know them and their teams, who they are as people. And so it builds this beautiful relationship and partnership for 6 months that's very much anchored on mutual value creation. It's not about this major telling juniors how to work. It's both of us coming to the table and going, there's something that's going to be great here if we can figure out how to work together really well, and how if we can, unlock you with the resources of a major, and you can work with the same speed, creativity, dynamicness of a junior. And so that mutual partnership is very much ingrained in how we build the Explore program, but then also how we continue and, hopefully form longer term partnerships. And there are a couple of great examples of deals that we have done out of the Explore program, and they are some of the strongest within our portfolio. And I would say they are definitely the strongest partnerships because, as I said, we got to date them before we married them, and vice versa.
When you're dealing with the cohorts as individual groups or parties you're working with, is it just that one-on-one kind of relationship that forms, or over the 3 years has there been something of an Explore community that's been built and developed?
Yeah. very much a community. We still have the WhatsApp chats from year one going off. Whenever we travel to different cities, we grab dinner with the different cohort members. I think that to us was a real surprise. Before I joined the Xplor team, I have a background in accelerators. So my background is not mining or exploration, but it is accelerators. And every accelerator program you'll see creates this really strong community and alumni. And that's where an accelerator program as a model can become so valuable, because you move between, or I guess beyond the value exchange of company and, corporate. And what you see is the cohort themselves starting to share knowledge and value. And one of my favorite moments from us as a team was our boot camp, which is our first in-person interaction in the program, year one. And we were feeling a bit nervous because we brought a couple of opportunities into the portfolio that were working in the same area. And we weren't sure if they'd see each other as competitors, what that dynamic would look like. And then as they were having lunch during that first in-person week together, we overheard them talking about how they could, share a resource, and they would, swapping vendor names in the region. And we realized really quickly that, oh wow, we're creating like this really beautiful community here, and it's a very unique experience. So you bond a lot, and there's very few, particularly in the exploration space and in the mineral space, there's very few environments where you get to bring a bunch of really great explorers together and just have them share thinking, bounce off ideas, debate, get to know each other. And the commentary from the teams is they've become friends. And we've managed to create a community that's moved, I think, beyond Xplor. And we've got little pockets of cohorts sitting across the world. And I think if we do this enough times, that's going to create such a powerful network and ecosystem effect within the junior explorer space.
Marley, that's all we've got time for, but thanks so much for joining us.
No, thanks so much. It was great to chat. Apply for BHP Xplor 2025.